Welcome back to Pride. In today's video, we will be unboxing and reviewing our new hunting recurve bow. A lot of useful information right on top of the box. You got draw weight and draw length. This bow has a draw length of 28 inches. Right over here, 30-inch carbon and aluminum arrows recommended. Draw weight, you have that option for 30 or 40 pounds. I chose the 40, obviously. You can see right at the bottom of the box. Gives some options there, 30 or 40, and the 40 is checked off. Also, you have some color options, black or white. I actually had a third option of camo, so I chose the camo riser when I ordered this bow. Very important when you are ordering a bow, all this information. It's nice that they put it right at the top of the box. Sometimes you're ordering something, you're reviewing the information, you're making choices, but you need a quick reminder. So it's nice that they put all that important stuff right at the top of the box. For this bow, for a recurve bow that comes in a 40-pound draw, one of the nicest things about it is that it's only 33.5 inches long overall. Very nice feature to have when you're looking for a strong recurve bow. You know, instead of going for the compound bows, you could get a really nice high draw weight with a very small bow, very small overall length. Whereas the recurve bows, usually as you go up in draw weight, you're going to be going up in length as well. So this is a nice compact recurve bow firing at 40-pound draw weight at only 33.5 inches long. It's a nice feature. This bow also comes with the option for a left-handed or a right-handed archer. Nice option to have. I'm right-handed, so I always go with the right-handed bow, but it's nice to have that ambidextrous option. Certain bows come, you could fire on both sides. This one, you just have to make that choice before ordering. So let's go ahead and unbox our new hunting bow. This is a hunting recurve bow. Fiberglass limbs, aluminum riser. Let's get everything out. Let's take a look what this bow comes with. So this is our aluminum riser. This bow is only 3.5 pounds once fully assembled. So it's a nice lightweight recurve bow. Excited to fire this bow and see how well it performs. We'll go ahead and take the packaging off our fiberglass limbs. So from the manufacturer, you have some labels on your limbs letting you know which is the bottom limb, which is the top limb. These are very lightweight limbs. Majority of the weight of this bow is going to be in your riser. Now we have just one little package of packaging, including our bowstring and some hardware to assemble the bow. I'll get this opened and laid out for you so you know what to expect if purchasing this same bow. So everything that comes with our bow, including a manual. We're going to flip the manual over. We got a very nice diagram here on the manual to attach everything for setting up your bow. We got some safety instructions as always, and bow maintenance, very important as well. Always waxing your bowstring before every use. And this bowstring has a 12-month, 5,000 shot expiration date on it. So you want to be mindful of that if you're not firing and you hit that 12 months, or if you're firing a lot and you hit that 5,000 shots. If you lose 5,000 arrows, that's when it's recommended that you replace this here bowstring, even if you're waxing it for every use, and keeping good safety in mind, never dry firing your bow as well. You never want to dry fire any bow. So we'll go ahead and we'll attach these limbs first. This packaging on the left right here has our limb bolts, our limb washers, and some regular washers as well. So it's going to be the bolt with the limb washer and the regular washer underneath. So we're just going to identify our bottom limb. We're going to get that ready. We've got our riser right here in place. Bottom limb. Get this hardware out. nice size bolts, about 2-inch, 1.5-inch bolt with our limb washer, along with some regular washers. So real simple, you've got your bolt, you want to put that limb washer on. First, that bolt will set real nice in that limb washer, and then you want to slide your other washer slash spacer right on top. Should look like this. We're going to go ahead and attach our bottom limb. We're just going to thread this in by hand, nice and soft. Make sure the threads line up. You can always reverse thread and drop the bolt into the thread pattern by reverse threading it with a little bit of pressure. You'll feel a little click, the bolt will drop into the threads, and that's when you want to start tightening your bolt. It should go in hand tight, nice and easy. If you have any resistance while putting this bolt in, you want to back it right out. You're not on the thread pattern properly. You want to be careful of that, especially brand new bow. You want to go nice and easy. These threads should line up and lock together real nice, and you should be able to just hand tighten this bolt majority of the way. So I'll go ahead and demonstrate what I meant by dropping your bolt in, making sure that the threads line up properly. We've got our bolt all set to go. Don't worry too much about the washers because we're going to focus on the bolt first. We got our limb in. You could hold it tight in place. We're going to drop our bolt in, and we're going to loosen instead of tightening. We're going to go left until we feel that click. I can go again. You'll hear and feel a click while applying a little bit of pressure. That's your threads dropping in and lining up with the threads of the riser. So now we can go ahead and hand tighten our bolt. So I'll show you again. We'll just loosen the bolt slowly while applying a little bit of pressure. You feel and hear that click. That's those threads lining up, letting you know that you're on the thread pattern. Everything's lined up nice, and you can tighten your bolt by hand, nice and easy. Good way to avoid cross-threading anything. And you want to be able to tighten that down all the way by hand as far as you can go before it sits into that limb washer and before using your Allen key. We'll go ahead and use our Allen key for the rest of the way, starting with the softer side, which is the long part of the Allen key, before putting any force with the Allen key. We're going to just snug this down. Everything looks like it lined up very nicely, very easy. And we'll give it an extra turn just to snug it down. There we go. So I'll go ahead and repeat this process for the top limb. All right, we now have our top limb in place. Everything went in real smooth. We have our bottom limb in place. Everything smooth. Everything looks like it lines up very straight, very properly, and easy to assemble this bow. No torque specifications when you're using an Allen key. You just want to go hand tight, get those limbs secure. This is something that you can always check when firing, just to make sure neither of those bolts have loosened from vibration or from firing. All right, now we're going to go ahead and string our bow. You can see in the image, this is one way to string your bow. Putting one leg through the bow, attaching one side to the bottom limb, and then using your leg to be able to apply pressure to the bow, putting a little bit of force on the limbs to be able to attach the other side of the string. And then we're going to go ahead and wax our string before our first use, before testing out this bow. So our bow is strung. I did use the old school method. That's the method in the diagram on the front of your instruction manual. Not too difficult to string the bow. It is at its most difficult when you're using a brand new bowstring. One quick tip, the knocking point on this bowstring is not in the center of this bowstring. It is a little bit higher up on the top end. So when this string is off the bow, if you were to pinch it right here in the center and fold it in half, the ends of this bowstring, the top end will be shorter than that bottom end, putting that knocking point a little bit higher up, lining it up with your arrow rest. Alright, now to try out this bow and give a quick review, see how well this bow fires. I'm not going to bother with the sight. I don't really like these sights that come with the bow. I shoot from the hip. Alright, and we have our target box up with a fresh target there. Give you guys a nice view of how beautiful this bow is. It's a really nice bow. Very happy with this bow so far. Only thing left to do is test it out and see how well this bow fires. Remember, 40-pound draw. Going to be firing some 30-inch arrows at our target. First shot, we'll just go ahead and fire 5 arrows into our target box. Take our time since it's the first time firing this bow. Very accurate. Very accurate. First shot I was just trying to let a round off, let an arrow loose, and fire safely into our target box. Rest of the shots I fired, I was going for a nice small grouping. This is the last arrow I'm going to let loose. I'll go right inside that grouping at the bottom. And look at that. Good accuracy on this bow. These arrows are not fresh. They are used. They're well loved. They do have a little bit of flexibility in them. A fresh arrow will probably fly much straighter. You can see that angle that was created. Let's shoot some fresh arrows as well and see how well those perform. We're going to go ahead and fire some fresh arrows into our target box and see how well these perform. While I was grabbing these, I also grabbed my tape measure, and the only complaint I have so far on this bow is the misadvertisement of the overall bow length. Was supposed to be 33.5 inches. In the product description, we have a 61-inch recurve bow, which makes sense that it would be a 40-pound draw weight. It's really hard to make a small, compact recurve bow with that type of draw weight. That was the top thing that drew me to this bow. But I'm not too disappointed. I'm disappointed in the misinterpretation, false length of the overall length of this bow. It was specified at 33.5. We have a 61-inch bow here. It's almost double the length, you know. So if you're looking at a product and you're checking out the size and it ends up being almost double the size that it said it was, that's a pretty big disappointment. But aside from that, am I going to keep this bow? Definitely. This is a great bow. It's firing real well. The draw is very smooth, and as I said, as I thought, those other arrows were curving a bit extra because they've been used for a long time. I've drawn and loose a lot of arrows from my other bows, and those were one of them. These arrows are much newer, much fresher, haven't been used nowhere near as much as those other arrows, and they're flying very straight. And I'm also firing on an angle because of the length of this bow. I think that's a nice tight grouping with the distance we're at. Just testing it out, reviewing the bow, you know, just having a good time and letting loose some arrows. Overall, I'm real happy with this bow. It's a nice bow. Happy with the weight of it, unhappy with the length. Only problem I have with the bow is the length. Thank you guys for watching. Be sure to subscribe to Pride Martial Arts for all future videos.